I was, and still am, only vaguely familiar with the Devilman franchise. Knowing it had something to do with crazy shape-shifting demons, I was mildly interested, but never really bothered to check it out. Until Netflix dropped the craziest show of the year in the first week of 2018 with Devilman Crybaby, and the rest of the year certainly has a lot to live up to. This 10-episode series follows Akira Fudo, a shy high schooler who is possessed by a demon and becomes the titular Devilman, and with his longtime friend Asuka Ryo works to fight the demons that are running rampant across the world. It's an over-the-top thrill ride both visually and narratively that's filled with so much sex, gore, and violence that I have no idea how I'm going to edit this video without getting immediately demonetized. But even with that threat looming over my head, I want to talk about why this makes Devilman Crybaby so fun to watch. And yes, potential spoilers ahead, as well as a content warning for graphic and sexual imagery. The first thing that really interested me about this show, as I'm sure it did many other people, is just how over the top it's willing to go. As mentioned before, the series is filled with enough gore and nudity to make even the most hardened of viewers take a step back. People and demons alike are ripped to shreds without a second thought, in a variety of suitably twisted ways. There's boobs and butts bouncing around everywhere, some graphic sex scenes, one part where Akira has a wet dream, and yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Hell, in the first episode, Akira and Ryo are... Hold on a second. In the first episode, Akira and Ryo were in the satanic rave party, and Akira gets knocked into this girl's boobs, and she's like, "Oh, do you want to touch my boobs?" And then some guy from the crowd smacks him across the head with a baseball bat, and the girl starts laughing like, "Ah ha ha ha!" And then she's like, "Ah ha ha ha!" And then she turns into this horrifying monster, and then her boobs turn into monsters, and they start eating people, and motherfucker! And that's not even the half of it. While the start of the series feels like an LSD-induced drug trip, the later episodes slowly morph into a post-apocalyptic war story of divine proportions. Literally. Cities start to crumble, nukes are launched, and there are fucking dragons flying around. The show leans hard into its own insanity, pushing the tropes of its genre as far as it can to create a spectacle that's impossible to look away from. For me, half of the fun of the show is watching it try to top itself in the next episode. This is only made more poignant by the show's art style. Its vibrant visuals help to emphasize its ridiculousness by painting everything with intense and contrasting colors. The designs of both the humans and the demons are smooth and clean, being simple enough to animate fluidly, yet distinct and varied enough for nearly every character to be memorable. And to an extent, the show's art almost reminds me of Trigger, the anime studio behind Kill la Kill and Little Witch Academia, with both having stylized designs and an emphasis on making the animation feel like it's constantly in motion. And the soundtrack, being made up of synth beats and gothic choirs, only adds to that feeling of being stuck on an unholy drug trip. The show's artwork and music serve to emphasize and amplify the insanity of its story. However, for as much fun as it is to watch, it's not perfect. Granted, a lot of the problems I have with it are nitpicks, like how the animation can often feel stiff, or how the rap scenes, for as cool as they are, come out of nowhere. Like, really? Right here? Right now? Alright. But I think there's a genuine issue in regards to its pacing. The show blasts through its story in 10 episodes, jumping from plot point to plot point so quickly that it'll make your head spin, and it leaves it with little room to breathe. Characters don't feel as well developed or as fleshed out as they should be, and a lot of out-of-place exposition and dialogue gets thrown in to compensate, which, especially in the second half of the series, just comes across as preachy. But at the same time, the fast pacing also happens to be one of the show's bigger strengths. It stops the series from feeling stagnant, giving you just enough time to process what's happening before jumping on to the next thing. And for as fast as it is, it does do a great job in getting us to care about characters and exploring the darker sides of humanity and the destructive nature of war. But it's something that I think could have been achieved far more effectively with even just a few more episodes. But overall, Devilman Crybaby is still a fantastic show. Though its story is a bit all over the place, the sheer insanity of its debauchery and artwork make it more than worth the watch. I'd recommend the series just for the sheer spectacle of its chaotic narrative alone. Although, if you're under 18 or are sensitive to sex and gore, it'd probably be best to steer clear of this one. It is not for the faint of heart. And yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think, if you agree, disagree, who your favorite character is, why your favorite part of the show was, etc. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, then check out my last video where I list off some of my favorite things of 2017. Or check out my video on Hyperlight Drifter and why its surreal imagery and fluid gameplay make it so fun to play. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe to come fly with me. And hopefully, I'll see you later.